What's the most rewarding thing about coaching? That's a tough one, really. Honestly, it will be seeing the work that yourself puts in, the coach around you, how much work the players put in. When that all comes into effect and it shows on game day, honestly, there's no better feeling than that. Obviously, like esports is a complete dream job to be a part of. But from the outside looking in, obviously it's a complete dream. But people don't realise the amount of stress you're under and the amount of pressure you're under to constantly have to perform. Which we all know what we signed up for, but that doesn't take away from the feeling you get when things you put into practice show on the big stage. And like I said before, it's an extremely cutthroat business. It's a job in coaching and in esports and Call of Duty in general, where one bad day can effectively end your career. So when the amount of say blood, sweat, and tears get put in, and it shows on the game day, there isn't a better feeling, honestly. What was the highest point of my playing career? That would have to be our old Epsilon team on Black Ops 2. Anyone that was around back then would easily remember how dominant we were. To be honest, we're probably the best respawn team in the game for the most part of it. The 100-point club that everyone sees today, we started that. There wasn't a single team that could put up a fight against us, to be honest, in 90% of our hard points. It was just being a part of something where the constant strive for perfection was honestly insane, to the point where me and teammates, we would have arguments if we would only beat a team compared to absolutely battering them. And being a part of, like I said, that constant strive for perfection made it an incredibly fun time playing. What was the highest point of my coaching career? I think that moment at COD Champs last year when I was coaching Reciprocity, and if anybody remembers, we were 2-0 down to Luminosity. We started off extremely poor. It wasn't our usual showing for the events prior and our practice leading into that. And got the guys off, had a big group huddle, and as you do, all the British lads all screaming at each other. We all fired each other up, and the guys came on and put in the best comeback I've ever seen. Honestly, we had no right to win that series. Took a little bit of magic from Dylan himself on map 4, but yeah, that feeling after winning that series, that relief, being the only British team left in it, I believe, and not letting down all the fans, just making that huge comeback was insane, and I'll never forget it. How crucial are the real life vibes between players when playing? So this is always a thing that's always up in the air. Some people agree on it, some people disagree on it. I totally disagree with that. You have to have good vibes in a team to be successful. Some of the greatest sports teams of all time, in esports as well, they're known to not like each other. I think it's just quite an immature reason, which happens quite a lot in the amateur scene, where people were dropping teammates because I don't like the guy. But at the same time, if all 5 people or all 4 people, whichever esport you're a part of, all have the same exact mindset, all have the same will to win, then who cares if you don't like going out with each other after a game, or who cares if he doesn't like the same TV show you watch, blah blah blah. It's just I think it's an immature reason for how, say, the amateur scene seems to replace players, because we'll use complexity for example on Black Ops 2. They were insanely dominant and they were known to not like each other. It honestly doesn't matter. As long as you want to come on and play, you want to come on and win, put an effort into practice, then whatever happens after the game, it makes no difference whatsoever. Are there any COD titles you wish you could have competed on since you became a coach? Honestly, no. I think I quit at the right time, to be honest. When I quit halfway through World War II, obviously World War II, I wish I could compete at that to my highest potential, but it didn't happen that way. But after World War II, going into coach again on Black Ops 4 and then MW this game, my role that I played, the objective role, it started, say, dying out over the past 4 or 5 years. But over the last 2 years, starting from Black Ops 4, that role got absolutely killed off, murdered into the ground, disappeared. So the whole being the whole brains of the operation, that role got completely thrown away, where it's come down to more and more raw talent. And obviously, getting a bit older, you lose that sense of everyone does. You lose that little bit of extra raw talent that you used to have, and not being the smartest player on the team wasn't as effective as it used to be. So honestly, not one bit. I'm gonna quit at the complete right time. I've been a coach for quite some time. Are you happy with the path that you you took after you stopped playing? Yeah, 100%. It was thanks to Wiskins and Shawnee, Zach and Alex at the time of the first Unilad team, who honestly I was about to go get a stupid little office job, which would have been like some very low level, you know, Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street kind of rubbish, but like very, very low level, not to that level. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be coaching today. So obviously, in an ideal world, we'd keep playing to our full potential. But as you get older, your reactions start to slow down, and the younger players come in, wrap around their little finger on the map. To be honest, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with going down this path. I mean, I couldn't imagine myself in any other industry, to be honest.